Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Michaela.
And today we're going to teach you how to use a Hoyer lift for our clients that are either bed-bound or dependent on their mobility. So first, when we are learning about Hoyers, we have to have a Hoyer. All Hoyers are a little bit different. So make sure that you're familiar with the Hoyer lift that your client is using. All Hoyers have similar things. We have a sling and we have the device. The sling usually has a top side and a bottom side. You will be able to see a little tag that will mention like how to use the sling. Please use that as your reference. Most Hoyers have the capability to move the legs out and in. There are also brakes. All Hoyers have brakes. That's locked. That is unlocked. Hoyers go up and down, up and down. Slings are similar, but often different. We will talk more about the sling when we're going to get Michaela out of bed. So first thing that I like to do is I like to introduce myself to our client just to make sure that they're nice and comfortable. Michaela, I'm Lisa. I'm your caregiver, and I'd like to help you get out of bed. You mentioned earlier you'd like to change positions and get to the living room. So as a taller caregiver, I'm going to adjust the bed. I'm going to bring the bed a little bit higher so that I don't have to lean as far forward. That saves my back, and that makes this a lot more comfortable. I'm also going to make sure I'm in a good position to help my client. Okay, Michaela, what we're going to do is we're going to start by getting this pillow out from underneath your legs. So I'm going to pick up your legs. Okay, perfect, and down. And I want to make sure that I have everything with me, right, by my side. Michaela, are you able to do a little bit of a roll? Can you roll over and reach for the bed rail? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to take this pillow out. And while we're here, I'm just going to check your briefs to make sure you're clean. Okay, perfect. We're ready to go. So since I have our Hoyer sling, are you comfortable enough to be on this side right now? Yeah. Okay. So I'm standing really close. The bed rail is still up. I know that I can kind of take a step to grab the sling because I am close enough and I'm watching you, okay? And you're also very stable. If you were very unstable, I would make sure that that sling is even closer, okay? So getting the sling, the instructions here say that this is facing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Hoyer sling, and how it's kind of the same way that I set up sheets when I'm changing sheets on a bed-bound patient. So I'm going to roll the Hoyer sling underneath, and I'm going to do a little bit of a tuck, okay? You're going to feel a little bit of a tuck, Miss Michaela. All right. Can we roll onto your back? Great. I'm going to come to the other side. And one way that I really like to get my bed-bound clients to roll is we're going to bend this left knee. Great. Can we bend this other knee? Perfect. Can you reach across your body? Perfect. We're going to roll. Now, because I did a roll with the sling, I can unroll the sling. And then, Miss Michaela, we're going to lay on your back. This is where this style of Hoyer sling is really important. So straighten your legs. These straps are crisscross applesauce. So I'm going to put it underneath your leg, and I'm going to put the other one underneath your leg. Great. And they get crossed onto the other side, opposite side. You'll understand more when I get the Hoyer sling. So, are you comfortable, Michaela? Okay, perfect. We'll get everything ready. So, here's our Hoyer lift. I'm going to drop the bed rail, and I'm going to get this Hoyer over to you. Now, most important part with using a Hoyer is making sure that the brakes are engaged. So my brakes are on before I do anything else. I did not have to change the size of the positioning of the legs because it was able to fall perfectly underneath the bed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the Hoyer sling and I'm going to put one top loop on each side. So the top loops are accounted for. Also, another thing when doing a Hoyer sling, you want to make sure that this is kind of high up so that you can support your neck. Now, for the legs, this is the one that's on the right side, and it got crossed over. I just want to make sure I did it right. Got crossed underneath, and it's going to go on the opposite side. This one, and we're going to bend just to show, this is underneath our leg, and it crosses over, so the left strap goes for the right hook. Now we are in. What I'd like to have my clients do is either give themselves a little hug or hold on to the Hoyer, like you can hold on to the straps. Just be real. So now I'm manually pumping. And so I want to make sure that my client is high enough that she is no longer on the bed, and that makes it easier to move. This is when it's nice to have a second person. So as a caregiver, I'm going to ask for your granddaughter to come join. Granddaughter, having a second person just makes things really safe. So a second pair of hands allows the transition to be smooth. So what I'm going to do, Michaela, is I'm going to pull the Hoyer lift out. The brakes are unlocked. So we're going to slide out. And then we're going to move the device over to the wheelchair. Are you feeling okay? Okay. Because the legs of the wheelchair are not, it's too skinny and I can't get these legs underneath, I'm going to widen the legs of the Hoyer lift so that I can get them around. Thank you for helping me guide. So when I'm here, yep, as a family member, we're kind of just guiding. I'm going to lock it. And since I'm the caregiver, I will be doing a little bit more of the work. So Mary, do you mind just lowering the Hoyer? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of pull the sling back. Okay, we're good.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. So the safe thing to do for skin, and the preferred method, would be being mindful of our clients' heads. So I'm going to unlock the Hoyer, and I'm going to move it away from you. Now, my wheelchair was locked before we put you in there. One, Michaela's positioning is really poorly in this wheelchair. Are you able to assist yourself, or do you need me to help you?
I need you to help.
Okay. So what I can do is I can just kind of bunch and grab the Hoyer sling and shift her buttocks. I noticed that she was sitting on the side and couldn't do that herself. So this is okay. It's not preferred for our clients to sit in the with the sling. So what I do is I lift both legs. So we're gonna lift this leg and get this sling out. We're gonna lift this leg and get this sling out. What I'd like to do then is lean forward and then get this out from underneath. And then we're gonna lean onto this side and get this one underneath. And that is removing a Hoyer sling. Hoyer sling. Final steps. Let's get comfy. Let's get this wheelchair legs on. Let's get that foot up. Let's get that foot up. Miss Michaela, are you ready to get back into bed?
Yes.
Okay. My bedbound client needs to get back into bed and she cannot do a transfer on her own. And so I'm going to use a Hoyer sling and a Hoyer to help her with that. We've been sitting in the chair for a while and I took out the sling because it is the best for her skin. So now that she's sitting, I removed the leg rest and I'm going to find the top part of the sling right here. What I'm going to do for a better angle. So I know that this is the outside edge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand in front of my client. Miss Michaela, can you lean forward? I want my client to lean as far forward as she feels comfortable. She cannot go anywhere because she is getting blocked. Her legs are being blocked by mine, and I have multiple points of contact. So I want you to try to shove this as far down as I possibly can. Okay, we can lean back. Some clients are more mobile than others. If our client is very big and non-mobile, it is probably advised to keep the sling in from an ease standpoint. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up her leg, and I'm going to pull that underneath. I'm going to lift up this leg and pull this one underneath as well, so that I have the leg pieces that will crisscross applesauce. So sitting here, I'm going to just move the wheelchair from a visual standpoint. Okay, Miss Michaela, we are getting out of that chair. So I am moving. I want to make sure the legs are wide enough, and I want to get nice and close. I'm going to lock the brakes. Most important thing. I want to make sure that my Hoyer lift is locked and engaged and ready to hold you. My straps, my upper straps, one upper loop, one upper loop on the same side. This strap was on her right leg, so it's going to go onto the left side. This strap is on her left leg. It is going to go on the right strap. We have crisscross applesauce. We are ready to rock. Okay, Miss Michaela, you can either, or you can kind of hold on to the Hoyer lift, whatever is comfortable. We're going to lift you up. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. You might kind of slide into it a little bit more. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are high enough to clear the wheelchair. I'm going to just put your legs right there. We're moving. Your shoes. Okay, so what I'm going to do before we get positioned, because I don't want her to lower in that chair form, I'm going to make sure that her legs, and we're also at a good spot towards the head of the bed. So, brakes are locked. Kayla, you ready to go down?
Yes.
Okay. So then I take this out. This out. So pull your out of the way. Just kidding. Take the brakes off. We're gonna put up the bed rail because we are rolling. Miss Michaela, can you bend both your knees? Perfect. Can you reach over here to roll? Great. Same way I put it in is the same way that I take it out. There. I'm going to roll it up in a little bunch. Michaela, let's roll onto our back. I'm gonna come to the other side. We're gonna roll towards me. Perfect. Voila. Slings out. And then this is when I would get my client nice and comfortable